Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89 or Trekboy 89, although this is a Star Wars video, but I'm still Trekboy 89, whatever. Okay, so I saw this a few days ago. It's not news, but I know it just became interesting to me. Basically, Daisy Ridley went on Jimmy Kimmel Live. She spoke to the guest host Josh Glad or Josh Gad. I don't know who the hell he is. And everyone was talking about it, and I sort of thought, is this much of a thing? I don't know. Basically, back in the day, the Fandom Menace and pretty much anyone who was talking about Star Wars at the time, including myself, was saying that the series, the Disney movies, the trilogy was a mess. That they hadn't planned it out. They were making it up as they went along. They'd taken a severe detour with the Last Jedi, and then they were trying to fix it with the Rise of Skywalker, and it was didn't make anyone happy. It was a mess. And the whole time, of course, the Disney basically said that this is not true. That the haters, the toxic fans, were out there lying and trying to just ruin the series for no reason because oh, because it had a female lead and a black character and all this. And as it was sort of revealed, of course, John Boyega, um, as soon as his NDA was up, he was telling everyone how he felt that he was um, sidelined because of his race in the films. And now Daisy Ridley, in this interview, has come out and said that they indeed had no plans for the film. That she didn't know um, what was happening at first. They were toying with the idea of her being related to Obi-Wan, and then she was no one. She was from no one, and then she was a granddaughter of Palpatine, and then they weren't sure, and it kept changing. Even when she was filming, she didn't know who her character was. So this just proves that they didn't know what they were talking about, and that we were right the whole time. That all of us, the YouTubers and the Fandom Menace and all those people, were talking about them not doing a good job with Star Wars, and that's a diplomatic way to put it. We were right. It was true. I do think that JJ, because even though I don't think he's particularly talented, he's great at creating the whole, getting something started, and the whole mystery box thing. He's great with that, but he's not really good with the follow through and actually giving you something when you get in that box, because you go to the mystery box all excited, and then it's empty basically. But he at least is a hard worker, and he does seem to put a lot of effort into the film. So I do think that even though he's basically just copying the formula from the first trilogy, as which is really apparent in The Force Awakens, um, he does his work, and I do think he had the films planned out, and he gave the next filmmakers um, a roadmap, just like George Lucas gave them all a roadmap when he left, um, and they just threw it away. So ultimately, I do think they did have it planned out when they started, but they threw that away pretty quickly once they started to care more about gender politics and woke points and all that stuff, rather than actually building strong characters. Because if they did, they would have ended up with a more diverse film with better characters that were consistent and compelling and could build and develop, instead of going backwards and forwards and then having to try and reset itself basically within the trilogy itself, which is just a nightmare. I feel bad for the people who had to write the last film. Was it JJ? I can't remember who. Well, we don't know how many people wrote that film, because it was sort of made by committee. So I just want to do a short video about that, sort of not to gloat, but just because I sort of remembered, you know what, I was saying that too. I watched that too. I agree with everyone's videos, and I sort of had my own opinions, and I was one of those people who was saying that it was a mess and that they didn't have a plan. They were making it as they went along, and they were trying to fix it within, um, within the trilogy. And I was right, and so was everyone else. And I don't know, I feel like giving myself a little pat on the back and saying, yes, Stephen, you were right, and you didn't deserve to be called a hater and all that, because everyone who said anything about Star Wars in the last few years has been called a hater and a troll and a racist and a homophobe and a misogynist and all this stuff, because we didn't like the films and we criticised the films, and people made it about race, they made it about sex, and it had nothing to do with that. I have no problem with Daisy Ridley. I prefer female leads in female films and female pop stars and that. And I'm gay, so I don't have any problem with lesbian characters or gay characters, and I don't have any problem with race. I prefer every other race to my own, frankly. So it was incredibly offensive to me personally. But fortunately, I'm a small YouTuber. I didn't get many comments, and most of it was from Facebook and stuff like that anyway. It wasn't so much from YouTube. But I didn't deserve it, and neither did anyone else because we were right. So there you go. Just want to say that. So feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Yeah, thanks. Bye.